Hey, welcome everybody to the Friday night live stream. My name is Lazaro Gomez. This is BOT10 Art, and you're tuned in to the Friday night live stream. Yay! Ah, what a day! What a day! All right, so first off, um, I don't know what happened last week. The video or the remainder of the video from last week's live stream is still processing on my YouTube channel. I have no idea what's going on with it, what's happening. I have no clue. But anyways, I just want to say that if the live stream does stop at any point in time, um, just I'll figure it out. I guess I will get some kind of notification, and I'll switch over to my phone like I normally do. So we'll try things out again. So I did make some modifications to OBS, and I also noticed that my microphone was a little low last time. Excuse me. And also, when I was recording my podcast, Noodle Doodle, it was really, really low also. So I'm still working out a couple of kinks and stuff like that. But uh, that's the way it goes. When you're trying something new, that's kind of the way it goes, right? So trial and error. But yeah, if we, right now everything is good, everything's cooking. I don't see anything weird or anything like that. We seem to be live, which is good. But if it does come apart, then I'll just switch to the old format, like basically just recording from my phone, and I do have that ready to go in case anything happens. But welcome everyone. Welcome to the Friday night live stream. We're gonna do like we do every Friday night, kind of hang out a little bit and talk about different things and prepare for an art show. So normally I'm doing some kind of piece of artwork here, but tonight I'm getting ready for Claremont Comic Con, and I got to tell you, it's really I've had a really challenging week, to say the least. So I'm getting ready for the show, and I'm taking inventory as to what I have. Well, let me go back. Let me go back. Um, I get some print orders, which is no surprise there, right? Um, everything's going according to plan. I get the notifications on my phone that someone purchased. I have orders to process when it comes to art prints, right? And and I kind of I don't ignore them, but I kind of set them off to the side for a moment, and I go about my day. And then when I have a quiet moment, I start going through the orders, and I'm looking at all the stuff that was purchased. I'm looking at all the stuff that's purchased, and I happen to notice that a lot of the prints. Let me set that off to the side. So a lot of the prints that are being ordered, I don't have. I don't have. So they were completely depleted. They were completely depleted, and I just like frantically placed an order with my printer, and yeah. So I place an order with a printer, and I get my art prints, and I get those notifications. So hey, your prints are ready. Come by whenever you want. And I said okay, cool. So now I have some prints to process. I have to go pick up the prints. I have to get them ready, and of course, the following day, take them to the post office and get them shipped out. Right. So I get to my printer. Oh, we can't find your order, and it's like okay. So let's start looking for the order, and then they found half of the order. The other half they printed it incorrectly. So I had some 11 by 17 prints that I had to ship out, and they printed 11 by 17 print on an 8 by 10, which is just like this. So it was like It was like this print that was running off of the paper. And the guy was like, "Hey, no wonder I can't find, the prints. I was looking for 11 by 17 and these are 8 by 10." And when he told me that, I'm like, "Well, okay, you don't see the problem here?" He's like, "What? They're supposed to be 11 by 17." Oh my god, I'm so sorry, this. And he finally figured it out. Hmm. So anyways, long story short, now I'm there longer than I need to be. I can't go to the gym. I go to the gym Tuesday, Thursdays, and Saturday, and I use the gym as my de-stressor. So now I really want to go to the gym, and I really cannot. And I'm working, whatever. I'm working through it. I get home, I get all the stuff ready, this and that, whatever. That was yesterday, right? That was Thursday. I get everything ready, good to go. I'm in bed by midnight. I'm up early. I have to go to the post office, take all these, prints to get um to hey, what's up? What's up? What's up? How's it going, Trace? Good to see you. Um so anyways, I'm taking these things to the post office. I'm at the post office, all right, before I go to work. And I'm stuffing these prints into the basket, and I'm like, all right, cool, last one. Vugunk. And I'm like, uh-oh. The print got stuck. And I'm like, oh my god. So I finally wiggled the handle enough to where the print, because the print is like this, right? And the handle is like hitting it here. So I finally hit it enough gently, you know, to wiggle the print. Whoop, and oh, sorry, I hit the microphone. Uh, whoop, I wiggle it, and there it goes. So I got the prints in. I'm like, awesome. All right, cool. So let's go to work, right? Get to work. I'm on the highway, and it's like jam packed for no reason. I get to work, and that now it's today, right? Today. I get to I get to work, and I put my bag down, and in my bag I had my coffee, my travel mug, I guess, the travel mug for my coffee, and I failed to notice that it was still in the bag. So I lay my bag flat, and I take off with my buddy. We go get breakfast, this, that, the other, and I come back and there's coffee everywhere. My brand new bag. I just bought the bag last week, and there's coffee everywhere. I'm like, oh my god, here we go. And it was just like little things like that, just little things, little things, little things, little things. And then finally here, it's like, all right, we're on the live stream. Please, please, uh, please let it go smoothly. So that's why I prefaced it in the beginning. I'm like, all right, if it goes away, we'll switch back to the old way, and I'll give you a live stream. All right, I'll give you a live stream while I'm doing my thing. But anyways, that's the kind of week and day that I've had. And of course, my mind is on this show. It's like, all right, we got to get ready. We got to get ready for the show. We got to get ready for the show. And I got the idea for the live stream to show you all how I get ready for not only Claremont Comic Con that's happening this Sunday, um, but just shows in general. All right. So I explained in earlier live streams and earlier videos that I have a system of doing shows. So no matter if I'm doing a big show or a small show, let me start cutting these prints up because I'm gonna explain those too. But anyways, whether I'm doing a big show or a small show, everything that I take to a show is exactly the same. So I take two utility boxes. They're like these plastic bins, and inside those bins I have clips. I have my PayPal slider in case I want to use that. And I know that's kind of old school, but I do have PayPal Me, and I have Cash App, and I have all that, right? Just in case. And I take some extra cash with me, whatever. So inside that box is my utility box, right? I have scissors, I have um, tape, I have a bunch of stuff that I take with me to the show. The other box has my prints, has these small 5x7 prints and also my 8x10s. And then the 11x17s, I just, I carry them with me with a backpack. One cart, which I always keep right here. And, tablecloths, backdrop, all of that stuff. And then 2 boxes of these square, like these graded square sheets that if you tie them all together, you could build whatever display you want. You can have like a small table display. You can have a big table display. You can have a backdrop and a table display and all of that stuff. So I could arrange the show however I want depending on the space that I got, right? So if I do a small show, maybe I don't know, in a bar or a brewery or restaurant or whatever the case may be, I do like a small low profile type deal where it's just a table, um, a very small display, and I could kind of stand up over it and this and that, whatever. And then when I do the bigger shows like MegaCon, Tampa Bay Comic Con, those kinds of shows, then the setup changes. I have this really big front section made out of those blocks, and then I have a backdrop which has all the prints and all that stuff. And underneath the table, those boxes that I use to carry all my stuff in serve as a filing. So if someone says, "Oh, I want the print of Batman or whatever," then I go through down here, boop boop boop. Here's the print. Put it in plastic, make the exchange, and we're good to go, right? So very clean, very organized, very good to go. Some shows I do I was gonna say conventions. Some shows I do conventions. No, some shows I do commissions. So depending on the show, if I'm there for a weekend, I'll do commissions on the fly. And what that means is, someone comes up and they say, "Okay, well, I want a commission," and all right, come back in an hour and it's done. Or if it's a weekend thing, they came in on a Friday or a Saturday, and I said, "Hey, if it's Friday, come back Saturday, and if you're gonna be here, blah blah blah." Smaller shows like Claremont Comic Con, they're only a single day, so commissions are really really hard. So last year I had a bunch of commissions, and I was stressed because I was at the show and I'm trying to sell prints and people are talking to me and this and that, and I'm trying to get this commission done. Later on I couldn't find the guy, and I ended up like running out into the parking lot. hey hey, don't forget your artwork, because you feel bad, like this guy already paid, and if he leaves, right, if he leaves, I gotta mail it to him, her, or whoever, whoever hired me to do this artwork. So so for this year, I'm not gonna do any commissions at Claremont Comic Con, but I will take in commissions and line them up for next year, because right now my commissions are booked up until March, the beginning of March. Even with me taking a break, I'm still kind of backed up. So I know, wah, what a problem to have, Laz. But at the same time, you kind of feel bad because, hey, what's up, Gabriel? Hello, hello. Yeah, right. What a day. But at the same time, it puts a lot of pressure on you for no reason, because you want to go and have fun and enjoy the show, especially this one. Like, I want to go and have some fun. This is the first time that I'm bringing my beautiful queen, of course, and my 2 young daughters. They're gonna be there with me, and we're gonna hang out. And they're excited about the show. I'm excited about the show. I got all these prints to get ready and bag up and all of that stuff, and and now it's like, oh, it's that moment. And if you're an artist, you understand exactly what I'm talking about. Like, before a show, uh, before a show, you're freaking out, and you're freaking out like, you okay. So let's say you created new artwork, right? Oh, this new artwork, I'm gonna get it ready. It's gonna be awesome. I'm gonna have it at the show, this and that, whatever. I made a couple of prints, blah blah blah, and anything can happen. You could get it back from the printer and it's not right, or something happens, or anything. So at this point, you're like, come on. Doesn't doesn't happen in every show, you know. Like bad things don't always happen. There's times where I just pack up my stuff, go to a show, and everything's great. But I think that what ends up happening is that you get busy. You get busy and you don't notice, and perhaps the prints that you wanted you don't have, and oh my god, and it's always that way, and everything that comes along with it. So usually for me, when I have a show, I'm prepping for it several days in advance. So um, so yeah, I'm prepping for it several days in advance, right? So I pay for my table. I pay for my table. I make sure I have everything that I want to take with me. I check my boxes to make sure there's nothing that I need to re up on, zip cords or whatever. I always make sure of that sort of stuff. And these prints that you see me cutting up are prints that I sell on my website. I sell them on my website, and I got a lot of orders of them. And frantically, you can imagine, right? Frantically, I call my beautiful wife and I'm like, "Hey, by the way, do we have any more, Samurai Jack prints?" No? Okay. All right. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Ah! And it's like, "Hey, how about um this particular print, right? I hate Mondays." It's I know there's a glare, but that's the name of this one. It's basically like Death taking a break because he had a really bad Monday, right? He just wants it to be the weekend. So I'm like, "Hey, what about I hate Mondays. Do we have any? No, we don't have any of those." Okay. Link. Do we have any links? Right. So this is Hyrule. This particular print is Hyrule, or Night at Hyrule, or sorry, Nighttime at Hyrule is the name of this one. But I call it Link, right? Hey, do we have any links? Nope. Okay. Uh, how about Little Sisters? Do we have any Little Sisters from Bioshock? Right? No, we don't. We got plenty of Sams, and we have no Star Wars, which is this one's Storm, but basically it's a Star Wars print. And I'm like, well, I'm going to the convention. I kind of need this one. So as you can see, I went ahead and printed a bunch of stuff that I'm now cutting up, and then later on I'm going to put them in these little plastic bags, and I get my bags at clearbags.com. And I want to say, okay, so I have a listing for it. I have it on my wall. I'm reading it off my wall. So the small bags are B75, those are 5x7. BA4 are 8x10s, which I have no plastic bags for 8x10, but I don't have time to order them and get them in time. Ta-da! Professional artist here, ladies and gentlemen. But these are things that happen. These are things that happen, and the point that I'm trying to get across is it's okay. It's all right. You're not gonna figure it all out at once, right? Because you're not. And that's something that I talked about on my podcast, Noodle Doodle. Don't try to figure everything out at once. And that's what happens. So with this particular show, even though I knew it was coming a mile away, I wasn't ready for it until now. So I'm gonna basically spend tonight, tomorrow, getting everything ready. I'm gonna try to hit the gym early in the morning because it's my workout day. Kind of de-stress, so I'm gonna run like 3 miles tomorrow, and just run. And then I get to hang out with my gaming group on Saturday night, and Sunday morning, load up, get some nice breakfast, get some coffee, make my way to the show nice and early, and set everything up. And hopefully we have a good show. All right, and there you have it. So if you're getting ready for the show and you're probably cracking up because you're going through the same things, or maybe you're not. Maybe you're like, ah, look at this guy, whatever. But that's basically what happens when you're getting ready for a show. Every show's different. You may have like this particular print right here. All right, this print I first debuted at Tampa Bay Comic Con several years back. It was an 8x10 print, and the first year I printed out 10 because I'm like, all right, let's just do 10 prints. Let's see how it does. Boom, they all sold out. I'm like, oh, I don't have any more, and it's Friday, so okay, no more Harley Quinns. Um, then the following year, I'm like, I'm ready. I'm ready for Tampa Bay Comic Con. I got like 30 of these Harley Quinns. It's gonna be amazing. I get there, and the entire weekend, I don't sell a single Harley Quinn. I sell everything else. I don't sell any Harley Quinn. The following year, I just have them there. I'm like, whatever. If they sell, they sell. If they don't, they don't. That year, sold every single one. So you can never tell what's gonna be hot and what's not. You could kind of predict. Of course, if you did a Deadpool piece, that's gonna be hot. Anything Stan Lee, God rest his soul. Anything Stan Lee's gonna be popping. It's gonna be very popular this year. Deadpool, Bob Ross. See what I did there, Bob Ross. um, hey, yo, Trace, you're literally packing up and prepping right now. There you go, man. You know the struggle. So yeah, those sort of things. You could anticipate kind of what's going on based on other cons, but you can never like really say, all right, I'm gonna take X amount of prints and they're all gonna sell, because they're not. They're not. It's like it's whatever's in fashion, whatever. Every show is different. You're gonna find different things. And when it comes to Claremont Comic Con, it's such a small show that I really do not know what's gonna be popular and what's not. So I'm kind of uh taking a small I'm taking a small slice of what I have in my arsenal. Some prints I'm retiring after this year. So I know a lot of people are going to be upset about that, but there are some prints that I have on my website right now that are going away. They're just done, retired, because they've been up there for a long time, and some have been selling really good, some have not. But I kind of feel like I want to put something new. I want to bring in some new artwork and stuff like that. And so uh, I'll have a couple of things that are brand new, and I'm gonna show them off at Claremont Comic Con, see how they go. So if it goes well, I'll add it to the website. If it doesn't, then we try something else. But that's how it goes for shows. So if you follow any artist, and if they seem a little short with you, or kind of like, yeah, whatever, oh yeah, that, just check my website, blah blah. If you have an artist that's doing that to you, more than likely they're getting ready for a show. They're getting ready for a show. And I know, at least for me, at least for me, oh yeah, you got plenty. Nice, you got plenty. I know, at least for me, it's gonna be kind of weird, because this is the one and only show that I've done for 2018, and so I don't know if certain people are gonna show up or whatnot, that tend to follow my artwork. I don't know, but yeah, we have that. It's just weird. But like I said, for me, when I do shows, it's my chance to kind of talk to everybody, make new friends, make new connections and things like that, because uh, I tend to kind of recluse myself because I have so much work that I literally don't leave this desk for days. It's like I work, I come home, I work, and then I go back to work, and then I come home and I work, and my, uh, like, thank God for my beautiful queen that, she's like, hey, you might want to take a break because you're missing a lot of stuff, and I'm like, yeah, I know, and I do. I take her advice. I always stop because it's not, in one hand you want to be successful, you want to have a following, you want to be exposed to different people, you want people to see your artwork, and you have a business, and all of that stuff, and that's great. But at the same time, it's like, you don't want to miss important parts or important moments in your life, right? You don't want to miss like birthdays. You don't want to miss the holidays. You don't want to miss any of that. And for me, I've always been the type that, I'll push a lot of things to the side, but when it comes to, my family and special events, like, let's say, right now my daughter, she's getting ready for a Christmas concert that they're doing in her school. So I'm not missing that. You know what I mean? It's like I'm not missing that. And it's that sort of stuff. But it's a careful balance, and you're always learning, you're always doing things different, you're always trying different things no matter what. And this happens to the professional artist the same way it happens to the recreational artist, right? The one that does it for a hobby. It's like, oh, there's an art show, here or there or whatever, and I want to just, do this or do that. You know, it is what it is. And so those are the kinds of things that you have to keep in mind. Balance it all out. So to me, the better the better you are at being ready for shows, the better off you are, because then you really get to enjoy those kinds of things. And like I said, Claremont Comic Con is one of those shows that, it's homegrown, right? It's really homegrown. It's not like a massive excuse me. It's not a massive show, and you're probably talking about 400, 500, maybe 600 people showing up. And those are the kinds of shows that I love because, like I mentioned before, I could talk to people. I don't have to like yell, "What? Yeah? Oh, okay, cool." And I don't have to do any of those things. I could be myself the same way I am here in the live stream and just talk to people, right? Just say, "Okay, well, what do you like? What do you not like?" And it gives the audience a chance to really absorb the artwork, and that's what I like. There's that. Of course, seeing my fellow artists. This weekend, I'm gonna see my art kids. I'm gonna see Trace and Leanne. Um, I like. I don't know. I think those relationships are important. I get to see my artist friends. Like at work, I saw Orlando Pagan. Right, I've mentioned Orlando before. He does a lot of body paint and stuff like that. And I ran into him, and it's always a joy, right? I talk about the big bear hugs that we give each other, and it's so amazing to see a friend, right? When I see my best friend RJ, my best friend Chris, any of my friends, it's like it's a blessing, right? I get to see my friends, and so, anyways, this particular this particular moment, we got to talking because I'm gonna be helping him with his website, and he needed an extra hand because he's just like me. He's like extremely busy, and he was telling me, he's like, man, it's been nonstop, this and that, whatever. He just finished doing EDC, the Electric Daisy Carnival, or I think it is. But anyways, it's this giant like electronic dance music festival, and he did all the body painting for that. So he just finished that, and he was exhausted, and I know the feeling. And he's like, well, he took a long break from shows, and he said, well, I'm looking to do some shows next year. And I said, oh yeah, all right, cool. I too took a break, and I'm looking to do some shows. Do you want to team up on tables? And he's like, hell yeah. So I was, I was with him on that. I'm like, all right, cool. That's what we're doing. So there's gonna be select shows that I do next year, where Orlando and I are gonna team up, and it's gonna be awesome because he's the type of person that he's like me, And yeah, the artwork is there. The artwork is important, but it's a lot more important that we have stories to tell. That we have stories to tell at the end of the show. When we're sitting in a restaurant enjoying a good meal and a good drink, right? So I'm excited about that. And I also mentioned the collaborations that I'll be doing. And I'll be doing collaborations with some of you, and other people that I haven't really talked about yet. And those are the kinds of things that I love. Those are the kinds of things. Those are the kinds of things that are born at shows, because I met Orlando at a convention, and I was like, dude, oh, so and so? Oh yeah, he's a buddy of mine. Oh, I know that guy too. Blah blah blah, and it goes on, so on and so on. And that's the sort of stuff that I love. LaCroix, not a sponsor. So, anyways, that's what I look forward to, and this particular show does that for me. So I'm excited. I'm excited. Oh, I didn't. Going back to the bag sizes, clearbags.com. B75 are the 5x7s. BA4 are the 8x10s, and B1117 are the 11x17 bags. There you have it. I know I'm all over the place, but oh man, I'm excited to see you guys too. Excited. So yeah, there's like I said, the show, the new live stream setup, the new podcast setup, and I'm starting to do another podcast with my wife, which is really awesome. It's a lot of fun, and that will be coming up soon. I will be taking a break for the month of December, and then we're gonna kick it all off again in 2019. Yeah, so I'm excited. There's a lot of things coming, man. I'm excited. And of course, even the live stream, it's all part of it. It's like you guys get to see what I go through, as an artist. Not that it's a bad thing. It's never a bad thing. I'm doing what I absolutely love to do. I love to create artwork. I love to share my artwork. I love to share ideas and materials and this and that, whatever. And hey, look, this X-Acto knife, I got it at Michael's and it was $2 and it's the greatest thing. And it's like, those are the kinds of things that that excite me. When I'm able to share those kinds of things, that makes me happy. I'm keeping an eye. I'm keeping an eye on the clock. I'm keeping an eye on the clock and also the CPU usage. I hope we haven't dropped. I hope we haven't dropped at all. So, and hopefully, it looks like we haven't. I might want to check things. Let's see. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Alright, it seems like everything's going good. Oh, I panicked for a minute. Hey, you can't help but panic, right? Oh. So, so yeah, setting up for the show, like I said, I like to get there early. I like to make sure I have everything with me. There's nothing worse than going to a show and you forgot something. Like that's a mad scramble. And with Claremont, it's only a single day, so you have like no time to do anything. If you run out of a print, you're gonna either have to run and go get it, go get more, or you're just gonna have to go without. That's just the way it goes. That's just the way it goes. There's no other way around it. And I know that happens to people, so I seen that happen. There's there's good things, there's bad things, there's everything in between. Like I did a show one time where I couldn't get any reception on my phone, so I couldn't process any credit cards. That was the worst ever. So then to make up for that, shows tend to sell Wi-Fi packages. But the thing is that everybody's on the Wi-Fi, and you still run into the same problem. At least the smaller shows. So if you're at a smaller show, like don't get the Wi-Fi package. If you have to run outside with the person, I would rather do that than try to struggle with the Wi-Fi that's provided to me. But yeah, I love it. I love all of it. There's a lot of stress. There's a lot of problems, but at the end, if the show goes really, really well, then you should take that moment and reflect on it and say, okay, what did I learn? What did I get out of it? What went well? What could I change? Um, and those kinds of things, right? If the show goes bad, then that's a learning curve too. Like figure out what happened. Why did it go bad? Where did you mess up? Is it something that you could have controlled? Is it something that's out of your control? Those kinds of things like that. And you do it all over again. You do it all over again. I know that I got the microphone in a bad spot because I keep hitting it. I know that my buddy, someone like Drew Blank, right? He goes from show to show to show to show to show to show, and if he has a bad show, it really affects him a lot because he's relying on that as an income. He's relying on that as an income. So for me, it's slightly different because yeah, my artwork is a business, and yes, I have a company and all that good stuff. But for me, a lot of this stuff is just passive income. So if I have a bad show, it's not that bad. But if he has a bad show, it's really bad. And I'm not trying to put him on the spot, but there's a lot of artists just like him that go through the same thing. So yeah, I get it. I get it. It's frustrating. It's like you're trying to make a living, right? But it happens. My Stranger Things. I haven't printed this one out this size before. So I'm testing this out at Claremont Comic Con. So this is my 5x7 of Stranger Things. I normally print this up 11 by 17, and it's the first completely digital. Well, I shouldn't say the first, but it's one of the first completely digital pieces that I do in a long time. I haven't done digital artwork in a while, so I'm excited about this one. We'll see how it does. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. All right. Sorry guys, I keep checking it all out. There may be a little bit of lag. It looks like we're getting a little bit of lag. For this, what I'm using is my X-Acto knife, and this is a really big one. Let's see. This is an X-Acto knife, blade 2, and I'm just using my cutting board and a metal straight edge that I got at Walgreens of all places. I got 2 of them because they were so cheap. They were like $2. So I grabbed 2. I'm like, hey, these are good. And that's all I do. Just, sit here and cut the prints. Now, normally I cut the prints, and the girls will sit and bag them for me, which is great. And yeah, I get help from everybody in the family to make sure that I'm doing good. To make sure I'm doing good. So if it wasn't for that, I would have like really long nights. Really long nights. And, I'm grateful for that. But yeah, that's what I do. I just cut these up. And like I said, I use these plastic bags. And right there, that's the label from Clear Bags. I don't know if you can see that. There you go. From Clear Bags, that's the number I was talking about, B75. So they're like they're 5 by 7/16 by 7 and a quarter. So they're slightly bigger than the prints. And so, the girls will sit there and they'll just kind of bag them just like this. Oh, I got it. Oh, it's turned around. So they'll put the print in just like this. And like I said, these bags are slightly bigger than the print, but that's okay. And then they'll seal them up for me, and they're ready to go. So I'm very grateful that they do that for me. And sometimes we do it all together. Like, if I have new prints, they think it's fun. It's but it works. And then of course, I'll buy them something at the convention for all their hard work. and and it kind of teaches them too, because I know that Emma is big on artwork, and she's learning the ropes. Oh, where'd it go? She's learning the ropes. So this kind of teaches her how all that works. You know, I do have a print cutter, and it makes the work a lot faster, but I kind of wanted to show on the live stream how you could do the old fashioned way, and hopefully that is showing or teaching you something. But they do sell like these small paper cutters that help you do this process a lot faster. But then we would run out of we would run out of prints before the live stream is done. Oh man. Sorry, I keep like clearing my throat, but I've been kind of fighting this little pesky cold. And it went away, but there's still like, you know, I haven't been feeling all the way great. Like, I'm not 100%. So here we go. The way I set these up is I create a piece of artwork, and then I'll scan it in. It's a really big piece. This is actually a watercolor piece that I did a while back in my sketchbook, and I brought it into Photoshop. I did a little bit of color enhancement and added a texture. And then I have like this massive piece that I can do 11 by 17. I could do 8 by 10 and also 5 by 7. So when I have the 5 by 7, I open up an 8 by 10 and I can print out 2 at a time. And it's really neat because they only charge me for one sheet. So that's one of the reasons why I could have such cheap prints. And I should say affordable. They're not cheap. It's printed on 80 pound paper, but they're affordable. So yeah, yeah. So I'll do this all night. I'm surprised Andrew hasn't said anything. And if he watches later on, he'll probably say something. Hey man, I watch you sand a piece of something for like an hour. And now you're watching me cut prints for an hour, Andrew. If you haven't checked out his channel, it's Moonboy TV on YouTube. He does a lot of cool stuff, and he's starting to do like movie reviews with his wife, which are really funny. They're entertaining. I like them a lot. So so yeah, give him a follow over there and see how it goes. But he does a lot of funny stuff. I've known Andrew for a while. He's a good friend of mine. I could tease him, right? Right, Andrew? I could tease you. You gotta have some fun, right? Gotta have a little bit of fun. Just a little bit. Just a little bit. Oh, that's funny. So, have you guys had a good week? I'm hoping you had a good week. Looking forward to the weekend, of course. I hope everybody is doing fun stuff. You know, maybe you're going to the show. Maybe you're going to go check us out. Give us a hard time. And say, you guys suck. That actually happened too. There was one time where I did a show and someone's like, yeah, your artwork is cool, but you know, I'm not gonna pay that much for your artwork. I could draw that. And I was like, so draw it. But I got to talking to him, and somehow, I don't know how it happened, but somehow he associated me and all the other artists there with the show. So it was like, yeah, it's expensive to get in here, and then you guys are charging us and this and that, whatever. And it's like, oh no, buddy, we're on our own here. We had to pay for the table. And he's like, what? No way. And it's like, yeah, we gotta make our money back. but uh, but it was funny, you know. It was funny. I'm not making fun of this gentleman. It was just funny. It was a funny situation that I was in, you know, and I was like, well, nobody's strong arming you, man. If you can draw Wolverine, draw Wolverine. And it was just, you know, that whole experience was like so funny to me. I was like, oh man, this guy. And so, anyways, he had some kids there with him. I gave the kids. I think I gave them one of these small prints each. That's when I had my Justice League series out, and his wife ended up buying 2 more prints off of me. So they got 4 prints for the price of 2, basically. But it was just funny. This guy, he was like, well, everything here is expensive. I'm like, yeah, it can be. Try renting a table. Like, some of the shows are really expensive. You can spend anywhere from like $250 to $400 on a table. And then you basically have you basically have Friday, Saturday, and Sunday to make that up. If that doesn't put any pressure on you, I don't know what will. And I've been on all sides of the spectrum. I've gone to a show, I paid for a table and lost money. I've gone to a show, paid for the table, broke even, and I've gone to the show, paid for the table, and came home profitable. I've been on all sides of the spectrum, man, and it's like when you make money, you're like, "Woo, yeah, it was a great show," and when you don't, you're like, "So how was the show?" No, we don't. We don't. We're not going to talk about the show. We're not going to talk about the show. No. Which is like, it's so funny, right? It's so funny that that happens, but it's so true, you know? It's like sometimes it goes good, sometimes it goes bad, but you got to go with it, right? You got to go with it. Like, why are you really there? Why are you really there? And, like I said, there's different reasons for people to be at a show. And when you're doing that sort of stuff, you could relate, you could understand. There's people like sometimes, okay, so there's people that get like really really upset when a kid comes by, or even an adult, right? They come by and they start grabbing everything and touching this and putting their drinks on the table, and some people get really mad at that. And I understand it. I don't like it, but I don't like make a big deal about it, because a lot of time and effort goes into these things, right? You have the perfect tablecloth and it looks really pretty, and then someone puts their coffee or beer on it and it's like, oh, sorry. And there's, 10 of your pieces are ruined by this. And yeah, you're going to be upset, and I get it. But that happens a lot at shows too, right? And those kinds of things, So whenever you're at a show, and just think about, how much work it took to get there, right? To get everything ready, to get everything printed, to have all the right stuff and this and that, whatever. And of course, yes, it is up to us. Um, oh, well, I don't care. That's your problem. You're right. It is. And um it is our problem. We're taking the risk, right? We're taking the risk of going to the show and showcasing our artwork, and that's it. So yeah, they're right. But at the same time, kind of, for the artist, just keep in mind that they're there for different reasons, right? Like your potential clients are there for a different reason. They may be there with their family, like it may be the only thing they could afford, or whatever the case may be. And you got to keep that in mind, you know what I mean? So just kind of keep that in mind when you're doing these shows, that there's a lot going on. There's a lot going on at these shows. And I will I will probably go more in depth with the psychology of a convention in the next podcast that I do. So the next noodle doodle will be about that. So like right now with the podcast, what I'm doing is I'm banking them so that when I take my break in December, um, there'll be something new to watch on YouTube, or if you want to hear the podcast in SoundCloud, you could do that too. So right now there's nothing up except in SoundCloud, but on YouTube I'll have all of them up pretty soon. And I had them up for a little bit, kind of as a test. I didn't like the audio quality. I was still trying to work out the details from Audacity, or Audacity. I guess that's what the software is called. But now I really honed it in, right? I got the sound the way that I want it and all that good stuff. And if you're not familiar with Noodle Doodle, basically what it is kind of the same format as the live stream. The only difference is that it's my chill time, so I have this I have this 300 drawing. Actually, I should do this, right? I have this 300 drawing prompt book, and I basically just do a sketch per podcast, and I pick a topic to talk about, and that's what I do. So look out for that. Look out for that. Oh man, we're running out of time. There's 3 minutes left. We're gonna cut this one. Yeah. So yeah, like I said, I hope you can make it. If you live here in Florida, definitely check it out. It's a small con, and it's very different, but there's gonna be a lot of good artists there. Like a lot of, I mean, I say good artists in the sense of like good people. You're gonna have good people at the show. You could kind of hang out. You could talk to us. You can, um, I don't know, just see what it's like. Just see what a homegrown convention looks like, right? The conventions that I'm used to doing or attending, they're my prints. 5x7s. Yay! I'm happy. Now I don't feel so bad if I get more print orders. I'm like, I got it. It's covered. It's all good. Oh, it's all good. So yeah, there it is. That's how I get ready for shows. It's a lot of stress, and when you get there, it kind of all goes away, and you have a good time, and you trip out with your friends, and if you're lucky, you'll make some money. But it's not all about the money. Um, there's a lot more that goes into shows, and I don't know how to express it unless you are a vendor or an artist and you get to experience it from that side. Uh, but I've done both. I've gone to conventions where I'm the guest, and I've gone to conventions where I'm the vendor, and they're both two very unique, very different experiences. And I encourage you to go check it out. I encourage you to go check it out. If you have a favorite artist or whatever, just look it up. Look it up, and you'll see a lot of really neat things. Really neat things. So yeah, in wrapping up, I'm gonna continue getting these ready. I'm gonna continue getting stuff ready for my show. I thank you so much for joining me. I hope the live stream came across really well, that we didn't, have any problems. I'm trying my best to get things better with the live stream with this new setup. And they're baby steps. Right now we have growing pains, but I'd like to think that everything will work itself out eventually, right? Eventually it'll work itself out. So yeah, if you're new and you like what you see, hit subscribe, ding the bell, and that way you get notifications as to when I go live. And also, I want to say welcome to all of our new subscribers. We have new subscribers to the channel, and I want to be the first to say welcome to our community. Welcome to our little familia, our little family. Um, and this is what we do every Friday night, 8 p.m. Um, Make sure that you come back and hang out with us, and share some more share some more ideas, share some more stories, and just kind of keep the love flowing. So I want to say thank you for everybody watching. I hope you have a wonderful weekend, and we'll see you next week, I believe. Let me double check real quick my calendar. Oh, if it'll come up. Okay, so yeah, we have 2 more shows, 2 more live streams before I take a break. So let's make them super awesome. If you have any ideas, or you have anything that you want me to cover in those 2 shows, leave me some comments below, or reach out to me in all of my social media outlets and let me know what you want me to cover, and we'll do that. So we will see you next time. Have a wonderful weekend. I hope you guys had fun. I know I had fun. I know I'm getting anxious and excited, and I want the show to be awesome. So if I see you this weekend, or if you decide you want to go to Claremont Comic Con, uh, come say hi, and maybe get a print or two. I don't know. Have no idea. But anyways, have a wonderful weekend. I love y'all, and we'll see you next week. Bye bye.